I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:30. Roll call, please.
Simons,
Here.
Freehand, Boda,
Here.
Prasalis,
Here.
Horn, Babel. Here. Blackstock.
Here.
Okay, Mr. Freehand is absent today, so the deputy clerk is going to take the minutes. We still will not be voting on anything, but just taking the minutes. All right, all present then. Would you follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving on to approving the agenda. Is there any additions or deletions to the agenda as presented?
I don't see anything.
If not, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Next, we have the approval of the minutes of August 5th, 2019. I have one correction in the minutes of August 5th, and it has to do with there was a amendment made correction to the 8/5/2019 minutes under old business. The motion was made by Clerk Freehand and supported by Trustee Pasalis to accept Resolution 08-2019. And it's just reversed in the minutes. They had it where it was made by Pasalis and approved by, and Bob caught that or somebody caught it and they want it corrected.
So Bob made the motion, I supported it?
Corrected it, and it was printed the other way. So that was the only change we had in the minutes, unless somebody else has something on the August 5, 2019 minutes.
There are no additional corrections. Make a motion, we approve the minutes of August 5, 2019.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the minutes. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Moving on to public comment. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on anything that's not on the agenda? Bill? Nothing? Okay. Next, we have the consent agenda. We have the C1 July 2019 Historical Commission minutes. We have the C2 July 2019 St. Clair Area Fire Authority report. We have C3 is the July 2019 Revenue and Expenditure report. We have C4, which is the July 2019 cash summary by bank. C5 is the July 2019 cash summary by account. And C6 is the July balance summary report. So if there's no questions on the consent agenda, a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented would be in order.
I'll make a motion, we accept the consent agenda.
I'll second. Support.
We have a motion and we have a second to accept the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have disbursements. We have invoices of $97,515.54. We have accounts payable of $77,267.36. We have payroll direct deposit of $44,289.39. We have EFT payments of $13,633.16. We have taxes of $129,258.42, for a total disbursement of $361,963.87.
I'll make a motion to accept disbursements in the amount of $361,963 $63.87.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we pay the bills in the sum of $361,963.87. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Simons,
Yes.
Freehan, Boda,
Yes.
Casales,
Yes.
Horn, Bevel,
Yes.
Blackstock.
Yes.
Motion carries, we pay the bills. Moving on to new business. Item 1 is the township picnic. Cindy, do you want to do this, or do you want me to talk about the picnic? Or?
We're basically setting the date. It apparently has been the same Saturday, the second Saturday of September. We do have a staff person who is going to be assisting with the planning as well as the parks manager, and then all of our staff internally will be able to support them to get it off and running. So the date is Saturday, September 14th. The time is 11 until 2, with lunch provided for residents and employees.
I'll make a motion that we set the date for Saturday, September 14th, 2019, from 11 to 2 at the East China Park Pavilion Number 2.
I'll second.
It's been moved and supported that we set the date of September 14th at 11 o'clock till 2 at Pavilion 2 in the park. Is there any further discussion? I would just like to say that the picnic has been going on for years and years and years. Seems like every year it gets a little bit better. It was really good last year. We just need more people to come. There's no cost to anybody to come. I mean, it's free to residents. Gives you a chance to see your neighbors and talk to other people in the township with the same likes and dislikes. And usually most of the board members are there. You get a chance to talk, one-on-one. So it's a good thing.
Larry, my concern was, why did they change it the last few years to the third Saturday? And now it's going back to the second Saturday?
Before it conflicted with the ox roast. I don't know when the ox roast is this year. What's that?
It's been the third, though.
It was the third the
Last year
last
was the
couple of.
17th, I think.
Yeah, and that was the third Saturday. It was that way for the last few years.
We have a banner up over there. Does anyone know what the banner says? I didn't have a chance to look
I
at
think
it.
it says the 14th,
Well, it's not date specific. It says a certain day.
second
Does it say the
Saturday,
second Saturday? Okay.
Because I know they
That's
had
all I was
changed
getting.
it those
Yeah.
2 years
Well, I
prior.
know we were really having conflict with that ox roast because
Okay,
we thought that was part of the reason.
okay.
I don't know if that was looked into this year in setting the date or not. Well, if it is, we'll have to make sure we pay attention to that next year. So we have a motion, we have a second to set the date. So is there any further discussion? Anybody else have anything? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to new business 2, which is attend MMTA Fall Conference Deputy Treasurer. Cindy, do you want to explain what this is, or?
Well, I was requested to put this on the agenda by the deputy treasurer, so.
Well, we have the deputy treasurer here.
No, we don't.
Oh, we got the deputy clerk. Well, this is a training, it's a conference. Mr. Boda, is this something you're recommending for your deputy?
I do. I've
You do?
talked to,
You're recommending this?
I'm recommending it, yes. I'll make a motion that we allow Irene to go to this with all the necessary expenses and her mileage.
Did we try to, by chance, did anybody look at to see if there's something that she could do this online, but a little bit closer? I mean, because she's just saying that there's a few classes that would be beneficial to her, which is day-to-day cash handling, legislative updates, and investment strategy. There's only really three things she's looking to get out of it, and the conference is a 3-day conference. Is there anything available online to her, would you know, Cindy, or anything closer, or anything that we could do in a day?
I wouldn't know offhand. Typically, these conferences, you've got classes intertwined with networking opportunities to talk with other people in this similar position, so you have a chance to connect for future questions and networking. So in between all of the classes, there's opportunity for that. Which
I just think it's a long way to go to Kalamazoo and paying 3 nights for a hotel, plus her meals, plus her lodging, her gas. Does she get her day's pays for that also, Larry?
I would assume, yeah. Well, it'd be 2 nights, wouldn't it?
No, it's going to be 3. It's going to be the night of the 13th, 14th, and 15th. And it says the rooms are at $125 they're from $125. And we don't know what they'll be at that point. And it's $339 for the class, so we're talking,
That's $400 for the registration.
right, then $375 for the rooms, then the gas, then her pay, then her meals.
Yeah, it's $1,000 to $1,500. Well, Mr. Bowden, is this worthwhile to send her, or?
I so believe it is, yeah. Think it's a good
And this
class
is
for her to take.
it's part of the MTA, right? Yeah.
No, it's Michigan Municipal Treasurers Association.
Oh, so it's not MTA.
No, MTA conference is in the spring, usually.
April, yeah.
Right. I don't think, I don't know if they're planning on attending that next year. We are budgeting each department to have conference funding available.
And I think something like that would be very beneficial for her, much more. But
I guess I'm willing to try and see what she comes back with. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we send the deputy treasurer to the conference at Kalamazoo with necessary expenses. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Simons,
Yes?
Freehan, Boda,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
no,
Horn, Babel,
Yes.
Blackstock.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to new business item 3, Michigan Citizen Planner Program. And this is training for the building inspector,
Our building official,
building official on the
in
official
his
side.
capacity as building official, right. So this is available online. This is fairly new. Citizen Planner used to be a 6-week course where you would have to physically go, and they still offer that, but not right now. Right now, they're running a special for $225 for this online program. At the end of August, it'll go up to $275. We do qualify for a scholarship through our Michigan PAR plan, which I will be applying for after he completes the course and gets his certificate. What this is asking for is to pay him for the time it will take, and it typically takes 15 hours. If you were to go to, the MAP conference offers this throughout their 3-day conference, and you can get this certification in 3 days. So it's 5 hours each day, so they allocate about 15 hours of time to complete this. This is the first step in him being able to attain his zoning administrator certificate, which is a training that's offered in February, which I've already signed us up for. But it is a requirement that you complete the Citizen Planner program prior to that. There is also a scholarship available for the zoning administrator, which I will be applying for as well, and that's also from our PAR plan. But we'll have that on a subsequent meeting agenda. Once he completes the Citizen Planner program, then he can qualify for the zoning administrator.
and I think the difference here is that that Cindy is recommending that he goes to this. According to our union laws, if an employee requested it, but seeing that Cindy's requesting for him to go, I will make a motion that we send our building inspector to attend the Michigan Citizen Planning Program with all necessary expenses.
I'll support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported that we allow the building inspector, the zoning official, to attend the 6-week class with necessary expenses.
It's actually an online course. It's at his own pace.
Yeah, but his wages will be covered.
Correct.
Is there any further discussion on the Michigan Citizen Planner Program?
Just that it is a very good program.
Have you done it, Herb?
I've done it, and most of our earlier planning commissioners have, so it is very beneficial.
Okay. All right, roll call, please.
Simons,
Yes.
Freehand, Boda,
Yes.
Casales,
Yes.
Horn, Babel,
Yes.
Blackstone.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to new business item 4, resolution in support St. Clair County Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan. This is from Mr. Westmiller. Cindy, do you want to?
Sure. So the county had adopted their new emergency plan as of, I'm trying to see exactly where they had adopted theirs. Anyway, it was after we had adopted our comprehensive support plan. So in order for us to support their comprehensive plan, our support plan has to be post-dated after they adopt theirs. They adopt ours, we adopt ours to support theirs. The long and short of it is they are applying through the governor's office for funding for our current situation. And in order to do that, they are required to have full support of all the communities that they represent through this comprehensive plan. So it's basically just confirming that we have the support plan and that that support plan is a part of the county comprehensive plan. He's asked for us to put it in the form of a resolution. I believe that attached. It's the promulgation. It's about 4 pages in. And the resolution is following it. So I don't, if you look a little further back, it's unfortunately kind of buried. It's a resolution to adopt our support plan. Can you see that?
What is the number of the resolution?
It has gone through the clerk's office. I don't know if he saw that one.
Yeah, probably 10, 2019, or 11, 2019.
The last time this was adopted, I think, was in 2017, but since then, the county has updated their plan. Essentially, there's no differences. We haven't changed any of the wording of our support plan. But they do need that document showing that ours is current with the county plan.
Does somebody want to read it?
I'll read it. That's fine.
Okay, Herb.
Resolution 10 or 11, 2019, adopting the emergency support plan, Charter Township of East China, County of St. Clair, Michigan. Minutes of the regular meeting of the Township Board of the Charter Township of East China, County of St. Clair, Michigan, held in the Township Hall on today's date at our regular scheduled meeting at 7:30. Whereas East China Township is in support of the St. Clair County Comprehensive Emergency Management Program, and whereas East China Township in its entirety, to include Marine City and St. Clair Fire Authorities, assessing, building, supervisors, and treasurer's office, has approved the guidelines to support this program, and whereas East China Township is required to approve any expenses regarding training and materials needed for emergency response, and whereas St. Clair County Comprehensive Emergency Management Program has established and published procedures and design criteria for emergency functions for a natural disaster, technological incident, or a hostile attack. And now therefore be it resolved, East China Township hereby adopts the emergency support plan through the St. Clair County Comprehensive Emergency Management Program. All resolutions and parts of resolutions insofar as they conflict with the provisions of this resolution be and the same hereby are rescinded.
And do we have a support?
I'll support that.
We have a support. We have a resolution, we have a support. Is there any further questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is new business item 5, resolution in support of application waiver dash PA 202.
This is what you were talking about at the last meeting, wasn't it?
Right, yep. So this will allow us to submit the waiver to the state as a requirement of PA 202. That should satisfy all of the requirements. The plan that's in place is already addressing the underfunded status that they were noting in their report, so there should be no need to file a action plan, a corrective action plan on this particular retirement fund, which is our MERS for the township retirees.
Do they contact you back after this, Cindy, and let you know what we should do?
They
or
do.
how-
It goes
contact you?
through a committee process, and the committee will have its report, and we will receive a copy of that report, and that will allow us to see if we are in
Compliant.
compliance, or if it's still under review.
Or if we need to do more information, whatever.
Right, yep.
Okay. All right, so they will notify you then?
They
okay.
will. This is fortunately for us, we have taken action that partially addresses this to their needs. It's not necessarily the end-all, it just gives them their basic requirement of being at that funding percentage. With the projection of, in the documents, it shows by 2027 that this fund will be at that funded point.
Does anybody want to read the resolution?
Page 3.
I can read it. Resolution, it's either 11 or 12, 2019, PA 202, approval of underfunded MERS corrective action plan application for waivers. Charter Township of East China, County of St. Clair, Michigan. Minutes of the regular meeting of the Township Board of the Charter Township of East China, County of St. Clair, Michigan, held in the Township Hall on this date at 7:30. Whereas the state of Michigan passed a law in December of 2017 titled the Protecting Local Government Retirement and Benefits Act, known as PA 202 of 2017, and whereas PA 202 of 2017 is intended to reflect the July 2017 report and findings and recommendations for action of the Responsible Retirement Reform for Local Government Task Forces, and whereas the Charter Township of East China has been deemed underfunded in respects to the retirement benefit system, it is required to apply for a waiver under Section 5 of the PA 202 of 2017, and whereas to apply for a waiver of the underfunded status determination under Section 5, the local unit of government's administration officer and governing body must approve a plan demonstrating the underfunded status is being addressed and must approve the waiver application. Now therefore be it resolved that the Charter Township of East China Board of Trustees hereby approves of the plan to address the underfunded status in the retirement benefit system and authorize the applicants for the waiver to be in the compliance with the PA 202 of 2017. Do we have a second?
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we adopt resolution, it's either 11 or 12, and in the future, I'd like to have the resolution number up here.
Yep.
So that'll be part of the minutes, but in this case, we're
Yeah.
filling it in later. So is there any further questions on that? We have a motion and a support. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to new business, item 6, 2020 road projects. As you know, we did a road tour we do every spring. we go by the recommendation of our district foreman from the St. Clair County Road Commission. And we get estimates what it costs to fix these roads that we picked. Well, the road that was picked for next year in 2020 was Bell River Road. The reason I put it on the agenda now, we have to have this form turned in by September, but I want to know what direction that the board wants me to go. Our district foreman gave me an estimate of roughly $45,000 to chip seal Bell River Road from Meisner to the city limits of Marine City. That's where they put the tar, put the stone on it. He said they're doing a lot of it around the county right now. I believe they did Shea Road, Starville, Palms Road. They've done a lot of roads with this. He thinks our road is a candidate for that. But I asked him to give me an alternative if we were to asphalt it. Well, the asphalt is about $225,000 to do the 2 miles. He suggested that we, excuse me, only do a mile at a time and do it in 2 different years. But it's totally up to the board. The thing is, in the local road funding, we're eligible for $50,000 to do a repaving. If we did the $45,000, we would only get $22,500 because it's a match, so they would do half and half. Unless we were to do more of this chip sealing, but I don't know where else we would do it. Because they have to be connecting, and the only other road that connects to that would be Springborn, and that's relatively new. So I guess what I'm asking the board, what the consensus is, would you like to spend the $45,000 to do the 2 miles? Or would you like to break the 225, which would be $100,012.50 and do 1 mile at a time? Or do the whole thing and take the 50,000 and we would be on the hook for 175?
For which road now?
What's that?
For which road now?
Bell River Road between Meisner and the city limits of Marine City. Last time we did the whole thing.
Mary, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
to do the whole thing was how much money, did you
It was
say?
roughly
To
$225,000.
do the whole thing? And
That
we
would
could-
be
We can
like-
qualify for 50,000, right?
So we would take 50 off that, so we would be on the hook for roughly 175. Now, when we did Springborn Road, we were on the hook for, I believe it was 150-some thousand, which that gets put into the budget, into the milled money, under capital projects, so.
Well, how far would $100,000 take us?
A mile, probably to Springborn Road. Either go
So
from
we get to
Springborn to the
capitalize
city
our whole
limits or.
50,000 then, if we go to Springborn.
What's that?
We capitalize our whole $50,000.
Yeah, we get our
if we go to-
50,000 and we would be on the hook for 75. I like the asphalt myself, that's my opinion, but
What's the lifespan of the first option? I
he
mean,
said it may get you 5 years.
But don't forget, we're gonna be taking that bridge out, and there's gonna be a lot more traffic going down there, too.
Right, you mean
And a
when.
lot more
yeah.
heavier traffic, you
Well,
know,
this, well, I don't know
weight-wise.
if this will be in conjunction with the bridge outage or not,
Well, yeah. I don't know if you'd wanna wait till after that's done.
Well, we have to. we
We'd
could
lose that
probably-
money then.
yeah.
We could probably wait and do it like in October, September,
Mm-hmm.
October. This is just something we have to do in 2020. And that's up to the county when they want to do it, because they're our contractor that we use. They do all the bidding and.
I mean, I agree with you, Larry. I mean, I think doing half of it and maximizing the use of the 50,000 is gonna be more bang for the buck.
Yeah, it's gonna
I
be a
mean,
better job,
so
I
that'll be a better
personally
project.
think, but.
I
And it
agree.
is one of our main arteries. I mean, that's a main artery to bypass the river road, so it does get a lot of traffic. I mean, you live on there, Angelo, it gets a lot of traffic.
Right. Then will we come back next year and finish off the other mile then? Is
Then
that what we-
2021 would be an option to do
To
the
do the
rest
other
of
one.
it. I mean, we would really like to do Putty Gut Road is probably the next bad road, but with all the traffic with the new plant, I don't think it makes sense to do Putty Gut Road.
Right.
And that's what our district foreman is kind of saying, maybe we should wait until the construction is over there. And then we're gonna be getting Record Road paved, so, but that should be done this year. This is for 2020. And we have to turn in a form, I believe it's by September, and then it goes to a committee, and it goes by points, does it adjoin a main artery and how much traffic and all that, so I think we would be a candidate to get that. Sometimes at the end of the year, people don't have the match money, and there's more money available in that local road funding, and we could even maybe apply to do the whole thing.
Right.
And get more money. I just want the board to tell me what you want me to apply for. I mean, the asphalt or the chip sealing?
I'd be with her, but I'd like to go the asphalt way.
Asphalt's a better way to go.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees with that? Okay,
Yeah.
I don't need a vote or anything.
That way we get the bang for our buck too. We'll get we get the whole $50,000.
Right, right. But those roads are nice that they've done. I've traveled on the Shea Road and that. They did a nice job with that chip sealing. Okay, that was all I had on that. I don't need no action.
So we would bring this back to the board,
With when we have the application,
which is, right, so.
you have the application. I
Yeah,
believe.
it's in the packet here.
Yeah, we have to submit that to the county, and then when it comes back, then we approve it.
With your application, it requires a resolution.
So we should make the resolution
If you're
right now.
confident that's the route that you want to go,
Yeah, well, then
otherwise,
let's make the resolution.
otherwise we'll come back in September
Yeah,
and you
let's do it
provide
right
the
now,
resolution.
if the board is in agreement with that, I mean.
Yeah.
So the resolution would be no more than a motion then, right?
No, it's got to be a resolution as we've done.
So then we'll have to wait
in
till the
past.
next meeting to do it. Correct?
I'm not sure how the clerk's office would want to handle that.
How do you want
Yes.
it,
I would do a resolution at the next meeting.
next
I
meeting?
bet you Bob would like to do that way.
Will that give you enough time to still submit the application? When's the application have to be in by?
Yeah, September 30th.
Yep, it would.
September 30th? Okay.
I think it'll give us enough time, yeah.
What we'll do is we'll complete the application so that you have the full application to review as you approve the resolution, adopt the resolution.
Okay. Where am I at here? Next, we have, under new business 7, North End Water Tower Inspection. And this is the recommendation from our superintendent at the water plant, Dwayne Loper. He's advising us to go with Pittsburgh Tank and Tower Group. Here's the 3 quotes that he got.
He does say that it gets inspected every 3 to 5 years, and we are on the 5th year for that.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know what happens if we go beyond the 5 years, but we're right to our limit now. I'll make a motion that we allow Pittsburgh Tank and Tower Group to do an inspection of our north end water tower for the cost of not to exceed $1,400.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and a support to allow to do the north tower. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
I'm sorry. Simons,
Yes.
Freehan, Boda,
Yes.
Casalas,
Yes.
Horn, Babel,
Yes.
Blackstock.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, moving on to new business item 8 is the south end water tower inspection. A comment on that I have on the south tower, I don't know if people have been looking at it, but at the bottom of where the stem goes up and the radius, like where it mushrooms out, is quite black. That's where the cold water, and you can see it in that picture there, Angelo.
Yep.
You know, and that,
Oh, yeah, you can see it when you go by there, too.
yeah, and I've looked at it, now it's got me looking at water towers wherever I go, and they all have the same thing. But I think we should have that washed. I don't know about the lettering, if we want to do that now. It didn't seem like a bad price. I thought it was a big price that we got when we had that put on here about, what, 6, 8 years ago, did we do that?
Yeah, it was something, yes.
It's almost $5,000 to wash it. I think I talked to another person and it was like 10 or 15 to do it, so I think this is a good price. And the $450 for the spot repair of the rust.
I'll make a motion that, we hire H2O Towers to wash our tower, the south tower, for a cost of not to exceed $4,950.
Are we gonna do the spot repair
Yeah,
for
I
the
think we
rusted
want to do it
areas?
all.
Okay, also I do the spot repairs.
Well, the first one is a $75.50. That's the inspection, I think.
Okay, I can, approve the proposal for H2O Towers Limited Liability Company for the amount of $5,400, of which $4,950 is to wash it, $450 to spot repair, and rusted areas designated.
And the other one is to paint, we want to repaint the name on there for $21.50.
Description.
I guess option 1 and option 2 is what we're looking at.
Does the board want to go with option 2?
I don't know. It's-
Is it faded, Larry? I can't remember what the blue band looks like up there. Is it faded?
To me, it hasn't jumped out at me that much.
It's
Yeah.
That's better than what's written, couldn't understand.
So that's the difference, I think, between the 1 and 2 is, 2 is to paint repaint the blue band.
When is the next scheduled time to repaint the entire, I mean, with these
I think it's every
these
10
spot
years.
repairs, is it every 10 years?
Yeah.
So how close are we to having it totally repainted?
I would say we're probably within 3 or 4 years. But
Well, option 2 covers everything. That's the wash, that's the paint rusty areas, and repaint the blue band.
well, what's the board feeling? Do we want to do the painting? I mean, we pretty much know we got to do the other things, but I guess the only option we have is do we want to paint the thing now?
Yeah, the paint would be $2,150.
Correct.
But then are they gonna come back around in 3, 4 years and paint it all again?
Yeah, I don't know that.
If not 3 or 4 years, probably 6 again, because it'll be dirty again in 6 years. I'm sure it will be dirty again.
Right.
This is something you have to do, the state mandates you to do these towers it's a set time frame.
Okay.
And they have
That's
to be inspected.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the blue band will make it another 3 or 4 years and then just repaint the entire
Exactly.
tower
That's
when
my
we have
thought.
to repaint the entire tower.
Did Dwayne express any, one way or the other on the painting? He didn't with me.
No,
but-
he just handed me this. No, we didn't discuss it.
I mean, all we're gonna do is wash it and spot paint right now, so I mean, is it gonna make the rest of the tower look not as good if you paint that blue band? Maybe we should just wait on the band.
That's what I was thinking. Why spend the $2,150 to
Yeah.
repaint it at this time?
But I know it'll cost a lot more if you just have them come back to paint the band, because, you know, they won't be set up to do
And I think that's what he says in his final paragraph.
Yeah.
He says, "We received 4 quotes for washing of the tower and spot painting." Said the vendors also provided pricing to repaint the blue band, should the board decide to include this.
Well, you can see down in that National Wash, they want $4,000 to do with the band. The other one wants 3,400.
First would be 75.50, 49.50 to wash, 4.50 to spot, and 21.50 to paint the blue band. And go with option one,
What do you want to do?
not do the blue band.
Not do it? Okay. Make that in your motion, so you want option one in your motion?
I'll make a motion that, revise my motion that the, water tower company do option one.
Okay.
Which would be to, H20 towers, $5,400, $49.50 to wash, and $450 to spot repair the rusted areas designated in this Springboard Tower inspection. As described in proposal number 1822, dated 6/10/19.
I'll support.
Been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? I have one. Why is in option one $5,400 and in option two it's $7,550?
$21.50 for the
For the
painting.
Yeah.
painting,
For painting the blue band.
the blue band.
Oh,
$21.50.
they added that to it.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we have a motion and a support for option one. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Simons,
Yes.
Freehan, Boda,
Yes.
Casales.
Yes.
Horn, Babel,
Yes.
Blackstock.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to item 9, delinquent utility bills.
So there's a bunch of them.
Something we do every year.
No, don't say that, Angela. We missed a year.
I'll make a motion when we take the delinquent water bills and, put them on the taxes for the 2019 winter tax roll.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported that we add the delinquent utility bills to the winter tax bill, 2019 winter tax rolls. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 10, adopt water and sewer resolution.
Is this just the reading of the actual resolution?
Yes.
All right, I'll do that if you want to.
Okay.
Resolution 9, 2019, to adopt water and sewer rate, East China Township, County of St. Clair, Michigan. The following resolution was offered by myself and supported by one, whereas the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 453-14 and Chapter 453-15 provides in Section A that water and sewer rates shall be set by resolution of the Township Board of Trustees, and whereas the Township Board of Trustees affirming March 18, 2019 adoption of the water and sewer rate increase over a 3-year phase period beginning in October 1st, 2019, with an annual review, the rates would move toward making both water and sewer services self-supporting systems. Whereas the cost of repairs, operation, and maintenance of the East China Township water distribution system are anticipated to increase, and whereas water and sewer customers were mailed a letter in March 2019 explaining the old rates and the new rates and the background information for them, and now therefore be it resolved, the East China Board of Trustees affirms the water consumption charge rate increase from $5.15 to $5.75 per 1,000 gallons, with the quarterly residential water ready-to-serve charge for 3/4-inch meter of $20.65 increased to $21.96. The current sewer consumption charge of $5.19 is also affirmed to increase to $5.66 per 1,000 gallons. Ready-to-serve charges are based rate on meter size. Be it further resolved that the water and sewer consumption Chargers and the water sewer readiness to serve shall take effect on October 1st, 2019, and be evaluated annually. All resolutions and parts of resolutions insofar as they conflict with the provisions of this resolution be and the same hereby are rescinded.
Okay, do we have a support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we adopt the Resolution 9. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Simons?
Yes.
Freehan? Boda?
Yes.
Salas?
Yes.
Horn? Babel?
Yes.
Blackstock?
Yes.
Motion carries. We raise the rates for next year. Moving on to new business item 11, proposed resolution Comcast franchise agreement. This agreement only comes up every, how many years was it? Cindy, do you remember?
10
It's
years?
like a 10-year agreement.
This
It
says 10 years.
expires in September or October? I believe that's what it is.
Right. 10 years, expires on September 29th.
Yeah, so what we get is 3% of the revenue. And by law, I guess we can go up to 5%. But you can only raise it at the time that this thing expires. You can't do it, so. Our legal counsel has recommended the township increase the franchise to peg fees to 5% and $500 at a time of franchise withdrawal. So I guess we'd have to read this resolution.
I can read it.
Okay. Everybody understands what this is, and we
What
get,
kind of revenue does that bring in, Larry? Do we know what it brings in?
I think it's around 30,000.
So going to 5%, we're roughly
50.
We'll add another
maybe
600.
50,000? Okay. Resolution number, East China Township, County of St. Clair, Michigan. Minutes of a regular meeting of the Township Board of East China, County of St. Clair, Michigan, held in the Township Hall on the 19th day of August 2019 at 7:30 PM. Whereas Public Act 480 of 2006, the act requires video service providers to obtain a franchise from a municipality by means of a uniform video service local franchise agreement. And whereas the Michigan Public Service Commission on January 30th, 2007, issued an order that provided a uniform franchise form, and whereas Comcast Cablevision is currently providing cable TV service to residents and businesses of East China under a franchise agreement that expires September 29th, 2019, and whereas the act provides the Township of East China 15 business days from the date an application or renewal for a uniform franchise is filed with the municipality to respond as to the completeness of the uniform franchise, and whereas the act provides the Township of East China 30 days from the submission date of a complete application for a uniform franchise in which to act to approve the uniform franchise. And whereas the Township of East China wishes to continue the requirement for the provider to provide public, educational, and governmental access channels and actual use on the incumbent video provider system in East China Township as of the date of the application to renew the franchise. And whereas the Township of East China is aware that the authority to respond to complete, sign, and approve uniform franchise applications in order to meet the deadlines under the Act, including establishing the video service provider, franchise fees, and fees to support public, educational, and governmental access facilities and services provided for in uniform franchises, and taking all actions related thereto, as well as actions to resolve service availability issues and line installations as provided for in the franchise agreement, can be delegated to an East China official. And whereas the Township of East China desires to provide such official with guidance on such fees and service installations, and whereas the Township of East China does not intend that by approving a uniform franchise that it shall be waiving rights, nor does it understand that the Act or the MPSC order so requires. Now therefore be it hereby resolved that the Township of East China designates and delegates to the Township Supervisor full authority to respond to, complete and approve uniform franchise applications and take all actions related thereto, and be it further resolved that such authority includes the township supervisor having the authority to determine whether the statutory deadlines, whether the uniform franchise as submitted is complete, authority to represent the township to resolve procedures relating to customer services as provided in the franchise agreement, and having the authority to sign the agreement indicating approval of the township of East China, and be it further resolved that a fee of 5% of gross revenues from video service providers is hereby established as the annual video service provider franchise fee, which is also the fee paid to the township of East China by Comcast Cablevision, which is the incumbent and only video provider to the township of East China, under its existing year 2009 cable franchise with East China Township, with the township supervisor having the authority to modify such fee, if appropriate, and be it further resolved that in addition to the preceding fee, a video service provider shall pay to the township a $500 annual fee as support for the cost of continuing the existing public education and government access facilities and services, and be it finally resolved that no approvals deemed approvals under the act or signature of the township supervisor on a uniform franchise shall be construed or understood to be a waiver of the municipality of its police powers, rights it may possess under the act, Michigan law, the Michigan Constitution, or federal law, or right to challenge or modify a uniform franchise if the act in whole or in part is overturned by the courts.
Okay, do we have support for that?
I support.
Okay, it's been, motion was made and support. Is there any further discussions about the
I got
Comcast
one
contract?
question. Is there any other cable company out there besides this Comcast?
They would have to come to us. I don't think we would go out and solicit them. At one time, we did have a person come, I think it was AT&T came, but they never followed through and got the franchise.
We had a company out of Pennsylvania too at one time. I hate this company.
Well, you can solicit other ones and see if you can get them in here.
Well, I just wonder if they know of anybody.
No, I don't know of anybody, unless somebody on the board does.
Never fails late at night, I'm watching that stupid thing, and all of a sudden, all kinds of crap starts going on.
Yeah, I know it. It is awful expensive.
But Larry, in the resolution, it does say that Comcast Cablevision, which is the incumbent and only video provider in the township of East China. Can we bring somebody else in,
think
or are
we
they
can.
pretty much going exclusive by saying that?
No, another company can certainly come in, and I'm sure you're open to that. They have to provide the infrastructure, as you know.
Okay,
And
okay.
a very large deposit to do so. They have to
And it's a
guarantee a
big
certain
expense.
percentage of access within
Okay.
a certain time frame.
And then, giving me the authority to do this too, we're also gonna talk to them about, there's parts of the township that don't have cable, different houses, and we're gonna have a talk with them on that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is there any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No,
One opposed. Motion carries. All right, now we're moving on to old business, which we have none. Announcements, really don't, the only thing I have is, I'd like everybody to come to that township picnic. I mean, it's not that long, it's only 3 hours, and there's a lot of preparation. And anybody that would like to volunteer to do anything, we're open for all the help we can get, so. Moving on to member comments, Mr. Pasales.
I have nothing this evening, Larry, thank you.
Mr. Boda?
I have one thing, it's gonna go nowhere, I understand that, but with winter coming on, and the ice conditions are gonna get bad, and with the high water, is there anything that we could possibly do, all the communities along the river here, all the way from Algonac North or Clay Township North, that we could talk to, our state senators or whatever, try and talk to government into convincing these shipping companies not to run ships this winter, because it's gonna cause damage. There's gonna be docks going out, there's gonna be flooding going on,
But sometimes don't the ships help keep the river open?
not very often.
I don't know.
They push the ice side to side.
Okay.
And they also have them contact, I guess I know I'm doing the good, but they contact the Canadians for the shipping companies in Canada.
Yeah.
And
And you're right, it is an international waterway. It's not just controlled by the United States or Michigan, so I don't know. I guess we can all
it's
write
gonna-
our
It's gonna
senators.
cause a lot of damage this winter. I can see it coming.
Wednesday, I have a meeting with the emergency management. He's going to be the keynote speaker at our supervisors association for St. Clair County. His history is with the Coast Guard. I don't know, I don't think he can
It's not
stop
go-
the ships.
It's not gonna go anywhere, but
Yeah. Well, he has assured me that they're looking at this for the winter. I mean, that's the question everybody says is, the high water we have now, what's it gonna be this winter, you know? Just from the history. Is that all you have, Mr. Flora?
that's all I have, thank you.
Nothing tonight.
I'd just like to say with this high water situation that we got here in the township, everybody's at wit's ends with this. Everybody's, pointing the finger to other people. But I think as a community, we should pull together and try to help your neighbor. We have a lot of elderly people. We have a lot of people that can't do stuff. Reach out and help if you can, It's not a pleasant situation. We don't have the answers here at the township. We're dealing on all private properties. We don't have much municipal properties that we own along the river. It's just a traumatic thing for everybody up and down the river, not only in East China and Marine City and Cotterville and Clay and Ira. I mean, they all have massive flooding. They're saying it's even going to be worse next year. I can only hope it's not. And what happens this winter, we're going to be in contact with the emergency manager. We've talked to him already about, getting the Coast Guard cutters there. When the ice starts to jam up, we got to have those people. I mean, we witnessed it last February when it started to jam up. We run into a real problem with our DPW and that sewer line we have on Point Drive. I mean, when that water comes up, it starts going in that sewer, and we can't keep up. Our pumps are not designed to pump that river. So, the township has its problems with the trying to keep the sewers, and that's what our people are trying to do, and I think they're doing a great job. What they have to work with is as old as the
If those
infrastructure
kind
is.
of problems could be shown to the governments to tell them to keep them ships tied up for the winter.
Yeah.
Because you got those problems, sewer problems, flooding problems.
Well, I know the township board has applied to the county board to the governor's office about getting a no wake, or, I don't know, that's the first I've heard about it.
Well, there's a
Stop the
200
shipping.
and 600 foot rule now.
But you've been here long enough, there was times when they shut the shipping down for the winter,
Well,
but now they keep it
shipping was
open.
all done come December 1st, and it started up again until March.
Yeah, I agree. And that's all I have, so I guess a motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'm making a motion that we adjourn at 8:28.
Do we have a support?
I'll support.
We have a motion and a support to adjourn at 8:28. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.